We're told to be here at 9 o'clock. We have 50 officers out there to test.
For how many vacancies?
8. We have 5 men and 3 women. Promoted to inspector out of this group.
3 women.
Do you object, Inspector?
Now, who might you be?
Oh, this is...
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
Oh, how the internet drops little gems on us from time to time. I was just scrolling. I'm not going to lie. Normally every night, I do my due diligence and I'm looking up things to have conversations about on this channel, react to, etc. And I did not do that last night. So I was just kind of scrolling like, okay, I won't record as much today. Let me see if I find anything. And this popped up. It said Dirty Harry on feminism and women's quotas. Now, I don't know. The only thing I know about Dirty Harry is it was Clint Eastwood and Go Ahead, Make My Day. He got that big ass gat. You know what I mean? Hold on. I think that was it right here. Okay, so this release was released in 1971. We are in the year 2025 as I watch it, and we're literally just went through the election cycle, and one of the things that the new administration clipped was DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And, you know, as they start this off, they say, you know, I don't know why. It just seems like we're going into that. And I'm like, yo, this is started back in the 70s. And I did a video on here. It didn't get many views, but I was talking about DEI because on Facebook, you know, a lot of my black friends and stuff were trying to do that. What was it? The protest or, you know, the blackout. Like, oh, we're not buying anything from these companies on this day as a protest to DEI. And I just thought it was really interesting because DEI didn't even, I started looking statistically who DEI benefits the most, and it was white women, which I'm just like, I'm not, you know, I'm not tripping on all that, but I just thought it was interesting because it was all of my black friends like hitting me up, yo, are you going to black out? Da-da-da. I was like, yo, DEI doesn't even help you. I'm like, what is going on? Like, because that's what I thought it was. I thought DEI was kind of like an affirmative action type of thing where, you know, it's helping, persons of color and stuff like that. And, you know, my thing is like, if you work hard, you can get it. Like, I don't really gravitate to those type of programs. I think it's because naturally I've always been an athlete. And the thing is, you obsess over being great and you become great, period. You know, you don't need a helping hand. You don't need this, da-da-da-da. Maybe I'm looking at it incorrectly. I'm just looking at it through the lens of how I've been successful. And, you know, I don't know. I don't dive into that stuff that much. However, the beginning of this, I'm talking about the quota. It says quotas in the title. But then what he says, he's like, women or whatever he's saying. I'm like, yo, where is this going to go? I have no clue. And I haven't seen the movie Dirty Harry. We'll see. Maybe this will make me want to go check it out. But I just think this is insane. This is insanity from 1970 to 2025. Let's see what pops up here, what's relevant to today, what's parallels today. What are we looking at in today's society? Because we actually do, you know, on this channel, I watch a lot of, you know, body cam footage. We just saw the footage of the female officer. Someone took the gun from the female and she just starts pleading for her life and like crying. And it was just really interesting to see because I haven't never seen anything like that. And I'm not saying that's never happened with a male police officer, but I just haven't seen it. It was just really interesting to see. So this sparked up. Here we go. This is Dirty Harry on feminism and women's quotas.
We're told to be here at 9 o'clock. We have 50 officers out there to test.
For how many vacancies?
8. We have 5 men and 3 women. Promoted to inspector out of this group.
3 women.
Do you object, Inspector?
Now, who might you be?
Oh, this is Ms. Gray of the mayor's staff. She's here to monitor these examinations. This is Inspector Callahan.
Oh, yes, I know something of Inspector Callahan. And I'd like to tell you, Inspector, it is the mayor's intention that this department be brought more into line with the mainstream of 20th century thought.
Well, just how does he figure to do that, Mrs. Gray?
Well, for one thing, His Honor intends to broaden the areas of participation for women in the police force.
That sounds very stylish.
So this has been going on for a while then, you know. I think it's interesting because I don't think, and I don't know. Men and women working together, I think is totally fine. Police and the military. Now, I've heard this. I don't know if it's true, but I heard they had to lower standards. Like, let's say pull-ups, push-ups, certain things because the women couldn't match the men. And I don't think you should lower standards in the sense of military, especially when you're dealing with like infantry and stuff like that, and especially police officers, because they go through some really high, physically intense situations. I'm thinking to myself, like, if the woman can do exactly what the man could do standard-wise, like, it is what it is. Like, cool, But that's what I had heard. I don't know what's happened in the comments. Let me know if that's true or not. I haven't done a deep dive on this. I'm more into, like, the econ space, like economics and stuff. And not really, I'm learning how to make $1 million. That's what I'm doing right now and what I've been doing the last, 4 years, trying to make it happen. So I miss some of these things, but I had heard that. I don't know if there's relevance or truth to that. So I don't want to be up here spitting fake news. But if that was the case, that could be problematic. Anyways, let's see where this goes. This is crazy because this is from 1971.
I think he also said something about winnowing the Neanderthals out of the department.
Oh, snap. That's a shot at toxic masculinity. That's probably why. You know what's crazy is I am going to go probably watch Dirty Harry because this is I don't know. I love these type of old school movies, like Conan the Barbarian, The Destroyer, RoboCop. I need to check out Death Wish. I haven't really watched it like that. I just know of Charles Bronson. But I need to go rewatch all this just toxicity and just see what's popping. Or what they would say is toxic.
Well, I guess we better get on with it. Next applicant. Officer Moore?
Yes, sir.
As you know, this is the final stage in your examination. It's a rather informal test in which we try to get some line on your ability to think on your feet, your reaction to stress and pressure, your ability to apply the law in a hypothetical situation, and so on. Okay?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been on the force?
9 years.
What department?
Mainly personnel and records.
Personnel and records, huh?
Yes, sir.
Harry?
Have you any questions for the applicant?
Questions? How fast do you run the 100?
Come on, Callahan. You know how this board functions.
What's wrong with that question? That's so crazy they put this in here. Because that guy kind of like, that was the first thing I thought is like just, I guess this is for her to be an inspector. But they said dealing with certain things under pressure. I don't know. All right, let's see where this goes. I thought that was a valid question.
All right, sorry. You know that if you make inspector under the mayor's new guidelines, that you might just be out riding in a police car?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, Officer Moore, maybe you'll tell us all here about your most important felony arrest.
I've never made a felony arrest.
Well, maybe you'll tell us about your best misdemeanor arrest then.
I've never made a misdemeanor arrest either.
Damn. Being able to run the 100, do push-ups, pull-ups, a bunch of different things. If you ride in police cars and you got to make arrests, you got to be physically able to handle males because, males are the ones committing most of the crimes and violent crimes, period. Like, I think statistically that's what that shows, no matter what. So,
well, maybe you'll tell us about your best misdemeanor arrest then.
I've never made a misdemeanor arrest either.
Then what the hell gives you the right to become an inspector when there's men have been out there on the street for 10 or 15 years?
The woman's place is in the home. Is that what you're trying to say?
What do you think this is, some kind of encounter group? I want to know what Officer Moore is going to do when somebody points a gun at her and says, "Hit the deck, you son of a bitch!"
You're just deliberately trying to fail this candidate, aren't you, Callahan?
Well, if she fails out there, she gets her ass blown off.
It's my ass. And, my hard luck.
Except that out there, you're gonna have a partner. And if you get blown away, he gets blown away with you. And that's a hell of a price to pay for being stylish.
Damn, I kind of want to see this. Like, I feel like I have no clue, but what would be crazy is if in this she ends up becoming his partner. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't know. I have no clue. All I know is Dirty Harry was I thought he was like a lone wolf. And he just has a big ass revolver talking about, go ahead, make my day. Like, that is just the hardest. You know some of the lines that stand out in infamy, but go ahead, make my day. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Y'all know the rest, man. Come on, bro. Let's go.
Are you finished with the questioning, Callahan?
Hypothetical situation, huh? All right, I'm standing on the street corner, and Mrs. Gray there comes up and propositions me. If I come home with her for $5, she'll put on an exhibition with a Shetland pony.
If this is your idea of humor, Inspector.
All right, what are you trying to do here, Callahan?
I'm just trying to find out if anybody in this room knows what the hell law is being broken besides cruelty to animals.
That's a conspiracy under Title VII, Section 182, Paragraph 1 of the California State Penal Code. A conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is, in fact, a felony. And according to People versus Bashore, 1965...
Yes, that's right. Good answer. Thank you, Officer Moore. You'll be notified of your grade.
Oh, she was kind of spitting. Dang, I want to see how that plays out. She was kind of spitting. She was spitting, huh? No? Yes, no? I thought she was spitting. I think she kind of made him be like, okay. She kind of made him, think a little differently. I don't know. This is kind of wild. Seeing that from the 70s to now, there's not much difference. It's just finding people who are truly qualified and not trying to lower the bar. That's it. I think that's why people are so crazy about the whole concept of DEI and stuff like that. I don't know, because of the way people of color were treated after slavery, there are a lot of barriers to entry to a lot of different positions and work and just things like that. Black folks, even in particular, built their own things like Black Wall Street, and then it got burnt to the ground. So I believe the intention is well set, right? The intention is, hey, we just want to, some messed up things were happening. Let's, level the playing field per se, so that people didn't have access or, can, have access or be put in the right positions. However, I think the train has kind of went off the tracks. And from some of the things I read, it would look like they started hiring people more so based off of their gender or look than their credentials or skills. And not all the time, but when that does happen, certain things, depending on what the industry is, things can fall apart when people aren't as qualified as they need to be. So I think there's a good argument there for both sides. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting to see it from the dynamic of a movie from the 70s, Dirty Harry. And that was one of the things I had heard for a while, like police and military, for women to engage in it, they had lowered the physical standards. And I think when you're dealing with physical jobs, like, being in the streets, doing arrests or infantry, stuff like that, you probably should be able to hold the same standards, or, that could be an issue when dealing with someone in a hand-to-hand situation, which we do see quite a bit, especially now that we're in the camera video era, the body cam era. You're starting to see a lot of these things unfold online. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. That was Dirty Harry on feminism and woman quotas. I don't think it really answered it, but I actually think that was a really good scene and kind of speaks to today and what is going on today, and creating the conversation of, how to reach some goals and bring folks together a little bit. Anyways, I kind of want to see this, man. This looks ridiculous. Dirty Harry best quotes lines. It's literally 12 minutes of Dirty Harry, bro. I just know from a kid that he said, go ahead, make my day. Anyways, let me know.
City boy, city boy.